Hey, thank you so much, Wei. First of all, I must say it's a very proud and humble moment to be here. First time I'm in connect with this community, and I can't wait to have more interaction with here. Maybe allow me to just quickly share my slides, if you don't mind. May I know, can you all see my slides?
Yes.
Can
No
I?
problem.
Okay, I think I only have 4 very quick slides to share. So since this is the first interaction with this community, maybe let me handpick a few things that we do in government, right? Especially in GovTech Singapore, to hopefully to have an exchange of ideas. Maybe there are certain things I never imagined I can do it in a different way, and maybe there are certain things that also can trigger your organization to do the same. So allow me to quickly share. Now, first of all, let me start by saying that GovTech as an organization, we are the central ICT agency to look at the well-being of the country in terms of the ICT development. So one of the things, especially we all know that at this very period of time is really when COVID hit in, right? And even without COVID, right, we as a government, as we can imagine, there is no reason, there's no excuse for us not to deliver good, especially when a crisis is happening, right? And I say crisis, of course, I mean the COVID situation. So there will forever be demand for us to do good, forever be demand for us to deliver faster and faster, forever be demand for us to take care of every single group, right, of the residents, be it your citizens, you are foreigner here, you are vulnerable group, you are elderly, and so on and so forth. There is no excuse for us not to look after every one of them. So when all of these demand piles up, then we start to have an internal self-reflection. In fact, what I'm going to share here is something that we started this journey about 3 or 4 years back. And luckily, we started it slightly earlier before the COVID kicked in, so that when COVID kicked in, a lot of new requests start to come in. We just happen to have the opportunity to use all these tools that build up to handle the situation. And this is the tool, we call it a Singapore Government Tech Stack. So just as a title, you can see here, is really about how can we build less, right? Of course, not the first instance, but along the way, build less, and we are able to deliver more good. Now, I just want to reinforce by saying that being a government agency is also not just about deliver fast and good. There is also a lot of other consideration like agility, productivity, quality, even compliance, even user experience, right? In any case, even when we are delivering fast and faster, there is no excuse for us if, let's say, the quality of the work is subpar, and then we leak out citizens' data and so on and so forth. So all these things, all these requests came together and really set us on this very journey of build less, deliver more good. And the first thing in our mind is really about, when you look across the whole of government, because we have the visibility on what the different government agencies are doing. Of course, all the different government agencies, they have one thing in common, which is to serve the people, right? So to serve the people, when they come up with more and more digital tools, and GovTech is a digital organization, right? We found that while they are very seemingly different effort within the government, but like it or not, a lot of them, actually there is a way for us to bootstrap it, extract it out, and build it as a common tech stack. And here we are. On the left side of the screen, regardless of which of the agency we are talking about, it can be the education sector, it can be the social sector, it can be the even Ministry of Finance, right? It can even be the PSA, right? Even the transport organizations. All of them, when they need to start a development, they will have to rely on certain, we call it a base layer. So here, when I list down like APEX, ships and heads, APEX is the API gateway. Ship and heads are basically the CICD, continuous integration and development environment. So basically what we are telling all the different agencies is that, yes, we know you all want to do good for the people here, but then here at the central government, we provide you with this platform. Once you onboard on the platform, the security is taken care of. A lot of other sort of automation, sort of implementation is already baked into the platform itself. Once you onboard the platform, it can easily save you at least 50% of the effort. And today, close to 50% of the agencies are already onboarded with the platform. Now come to the second pillar. When you talk about booking, right? You'll be surprised that it could be this morning, I'm talking to the MSF, the Social and Family Agency in Singapore. They talk about, yeah, we maybe need to book a marriage counselor, or we need to book, let's say, even a solemnizer. It can be a very happy thing, book a solemnizer. Then in the afternoon, I could be talking to the education sector. It says that, yeah, I have some counselor, I need to let people book for it. Then maybe in the evening, I'm talking to the Integrated Public Service Center. They say that, a lot of the elderly, they can't even really travel all the way from West Coast to the IPSC center in our Tampines hub. So can we have a booking system for them to use? After that, they can just go through Zoom for the government counselor, social counselor to talk to him or her. So then we bootstrap something, we call it a booking SG. It's basically a booking system that the agencies or the domain owner just need to use the booking system and customize a little bit. And then immediately within, maybe you can cut short the development period from half a year to within 1 month. The agency can already start using this as a booking system. Percy is something, is really a new baby in this group, which is really about when government start to think about, like, we talk about government need to build a personal relationship with the people, with the beneficiary, right? We need to push you with the right scheme, with the right information. That is what you needed. So when more and more different ministries start to embark on this journey, it started off as something very abstract, right? If we want to have a tech stack that can help the different organization to be more personalized when they interact with the different users, groups, citizens, residents in this country, what will be the tech stack look like? So this is the tech stack talk about that. Now, Gather SG, I will talk a little bit into a bit more deeper because it aligns very much with today's theme, which is really about government, but we also need to do good to the citizens, right? We have gone past a stage of, there are so many of, in general, I just call it a case management need in the social service sector, right? Sometimes it's about, we need to make sure that the elderly will be willing to go and go forward for the vaccination. Sometimes it's simply about because there are 100,000 vulnerable seniors staying alone in this country. So how can we better address to their need? How can we provide them an assisted living kind of environment? Sometimes it can be even as simple as just because we have we have some grocery voucher to the vulnerable group, and we just want to make sure that some of them who doesn't get it, the cases are properly handled. So today, within the government, we also have a lightweight case management and coordination tech stack. I'll go in deeper about that slightly in a while. Last but not least, if you stay in Singapore during this period of time, you probably heard about a lot of things about this go where, that go where, must go where, flu go where, support go where, and so on and so forth. So today, I'm happy to share that what the public doesn't know is that go where, from the government perspective, is actually more than just a website. It's more than just an instance of implementation. It is to us, we call it a distribution ops stack. It is a tech stack itself to support a distribution ops. From what the citizen can see about, there is a front end for people to key in the postal code, and then you can quickly go to where to collect the mask and sanitizer and so on and so forth, all the way to the back end. From the public officer point of view, they can just use a very easy to use form. They just enter a few collection point information by pressing one button. A poster will be generated, and that is exactly the poster. If some of you stay in HDB, you will know that those are the poster actually down there in the void deck. And the poster format is exactly compatible with the digital bulletin board. So actually, our colleagues from the TA can just load the poster there. Right, so it is today, and the same initiative has been reused in 15 different COVID and whole government initiative. Right, even in the election period, this system was also used by the citizen to query in terms of the queue time, so that they do need to go down to a polling center when there is a huge crowd around that area. Now, with that, you might be thinking that, hey, yeah, so much I hear about the tech stack, but how can it be more closely related to what we want to talk about? We want to talk about the vulnerable group. We want to talk about bringing inclusivity to the people, and so on and so forth. Actually, I must say that it is super, super relevant. Now, first of all, I think while it is not directly into for good kind of theme, but it is always the starting point for a lot of the modern project, which is really about data, right? So I'm not sure whether you're aware, in Singapore context, all the government agency added up together, there are more than 3,000 plus digital touch point, big and small. But for all of these 3,000 plus touch point, at the back, there is only one analytics platform, right? And this is the analytics platform that we developed once at the central government. For any of the agencies out there, when you roll out a digital service for whatever the purpose, the agency or the website just need to add 2 lines of JavaScript code onto the website itself. Then what the website owner can get are the 5 different steps that I summarize here. First of all, is really about which are the authentic information, because if you know, one of the things government is fighting is also about fake news and which are the legitimate source of information, so that when crisis kick in, people would not be in the panic stage. So first is a DSR, we call it a digital service register. That is the single source of truth that talks about which are the legitimate source of truth. Second, you don't talk about whether the website is good or bad or whatever. First, please make sure the website is up. So once you add the same 2 lines of JavaScript code, the website is immediately under the uptime monitoring, so that people will know that whether their services are up or down. When it's down, the service owner will immediately be triggered with an email. Thirdly, without even the user come and complain about certain thing doesn't work or whatever, we have already automated the process such that there is a WOGA inspect. So what the WOGA inspect did is that monthly they're going to automatically scan for a lot of the important parameter. The parameter can range from those very basic things like, for example, your performance, website performance, your SEO score, even to some of the more inclusivity related stuff, which I'm going to go through later. Point number 4, generate analytics. And point number 5, when government operate, we cannot fly a plane, but without certain guide, right? Now things move so fast. Just imagine we are building some things even when the plane is flying in the air. We are building the wing even when the plane is flying in the air, but guided by what? One of the important parameter is really about citizen sentiment. So we have a sentiment bureau. Now you go to any government website, there is a smiley face at the bottom corner of the screen. Now, I'm proudly say that with the same 2 lines of JavaScript code, agency just need to turn on their dashboard. Immediately, the citizen feedback will be collected through the smiley face straight to the agency themselves. So that is one from the data end. Next, let me talk about the inclusivity. When we collected the sentiment from the people throughout the years, one of the very common asks in this country, actually, I must admit that is to my surprise. No matter how advanced Singapore is, how educated the population is, it is a truth that a lot of the people write in through these feedback tools and tell us that actually they have an issue when government only communicate to them in Singapore as the only language. In fact, they want to be reached out in more different languages. They want especially important information to be translated into a different languages. So with that, we actually have a tech stack called CrowdTask SG, and we collaborate with MCI. There is a movement called SG Translate Together. So basically, we recruit a lot of volunteers in the frame of a crowd tasking. We get teachers, we get translators to come in volunteer, right, to help to translate the government information to 4 different languages. So how it works is that there are 2 runs. First run, we will pass by some AI tool, and then second run, we will get these translator to help to translate them to make sure that things are okay. And the top right corner is also another interesting experiment but today is working in the tech stack as well, which is really about ethnic keyboard or writing pad. You know that in the Singapore IC for Singaporean citizens PR, there is a field ask people to fill in the ethnic name. But do you also know that more and more, based on our user research, we observe a trend that for the younger group, they don't come pre-installed on their devices an ethnic keyboard. So some of them, they tend not to key in that field of information. And after some time, if this continues, right, um, we are going to suffer a loss in terms of the cultural and from the ethnic kind of carry on the kind of tradition. So what we did is that we also have in our tech stack, which is the ethnic keyboard. For the minority, you do not need to install anything on your computer. It is basically a soft keyboard. You just have to press, just imagine any form. For example, you go to ICA, you try to renew your passport, renew your IC, you just click on that button. Immediately, there will be this keypad coming out. And then you're able to just directly click on this keypad or without installing anything, and you're able to enter in your ethnic language. Of course, I do want to highlight maybe, oh, sorry, I don't know why. Okay, maybe on the bottom right corner, which is really something I want to go slightly deeper, which is really about accessibility. More and more, we have this awareness of we cannot just take care of the mainstream. We also need to take care of the minorities need, those who are visually impaired, those who have issue using or they need to rely on the hearing to read out what the screen says. So I'm happy to share that in the government context, for all the 3,000 plus touch point, every month, there is an automation built up that all these websites and will be automatically scanned for accessibility. Whether the contrast is too weak, whether you do not put the alt text, for example, all those things will be automatically evaluated, right, by IT means, and then a report will be sent to the digital service owner. And in fact, if any of the agencies, the accessibility score for the digital service they are taking caring, the accessibility score is too low, then in fact, it will be flagged out to the agency administrator. So these are just some of the, I just go into some example. In fact, my main point has been delivered, just two more slides here. So this is what I meant by when I have a Gather SG as a lightweight case management system, and I'm able to customize them based on the different needs. So it is a lightweight tech stack, but depending on, for example, if now basically this is also the tech stack that is today running in 53 rental flats. When the elderly are staying alone, basically we work with our SIoT, the sensor and IoT colleague. There is a button inside the unit, and when they press the button, right, my team will provide a case management system, and during the daytime, the alert, basically the button itself is also a two-way comms device. So during the daytime, the senior activity center will be able to go to the upstairs and provide the kind of care and help to those seniors staying alone. But after the office hour, when the SAC are closed, there will be a unit called the care line, which takes over this job and doing the triaging. And they will be the unit that helps to trigger the SCDF to send the ambulance down as and when needed. So far, this has been pilot island-wide over 53 blocks in Singapore. And there are now plans to really scale up to the whole of Singapore. And this is based on this particular tech stack. And at the middle column, when SGO need to engage the elderly to make sure that they are okay, because I can't send volunteer down to you to do the knock your door and ask you, shake your hand anymore because of COVID situation, then we also deploy this tech stack very quickly within 2 weeks time, right? We set up a tool to help the silver generation office to transform the op into tele ops to serve the seniors during the COVID situation. My last bit is really is one tech stack, but then there are altogether 9 tracks that we are serving today, ranging from a COVID track, ranging from get the seniors to quickly go for vaccination, ranging from take care of the vulnerable group, ranging from handling the grocery voucher, and in the latest edition, which the team is very busy with, is really about how can we even help to facilitate things like the integrated public service center to bring all these appeal back to the government and help them to route across different government agencies and even meet the people session potentially. So I guess that's the last of my slides. I guess to summarize in one sentence, we figure out that we can no longer just rely on the usual way of doing things. Whenever we want to do good, we start something from silo, we start something from silo here and there. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't be able to fulfill our role as a public service. And we have then ventured into Singapore government tech stack approach, which is proven to be useful and help us to react fast with quality in many of the situation. That's all I want to share. Thank you so much for having